And I just want to appreciate you guys so much for joining me tonight. And I don't know where you guys are. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia says I'm looking good and I'm sounding good. Thank you, Sonia. Um, I'm outside because it's summertime. The weather is beautiful. It's really not very humid where I am, and so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little bit. And Ani says she's in the house. Uh, or Attica did. So I thought I'll do something a little bit different and I will just do my live from outside. Hey, Greta, how are you? Thank you. Greta says I'm sounding good. Great, guys, because I'm outside and I want to make sure that you guys are hearing me clearly and that there's not a lot of back noise or anything like that. But uh, I'm just enjoying being outdoors. So you guys all know if you've been with me before, if you haven't, and this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're watching the replay, make sure you put hashtag replay. Still tell us your name and where you are from. But wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm super excited that you're joining me tonight. I want you to put, as you guys know that we do, how did you win today? What was great about your day today? There's always something in our day that we can say, oh, yes, I seized the day today, or this was my win today. This is what I'm celebrating about today. We can always find one thing. So, everyone, as you're coming on, even those of you who are looking at the replay, I still want you to put, how did you seize the day? How did you win in your day? So, I will start for me, and make sure that you're writing it, guys, in chat. Write it in chat, right? And so let's post it so everyone can share. And guys, let's not leave each other out there. If you know this is how you won today, or this is you too, we want you to put Yana, YANA, you are not alone. Or you could say me too, that's me. But we never leave each other hanging out there as if we're by ourselves. We want to celebrate each other. So I have to tell you, so today I did yard work. I was so excited because I did it yesterday, but then today I left my office a bit early and I came home and I planted more flowers. So I think y'all need to heart me up for that, okay? You guys got to heart me up, like me up. I'm sorry. If you aren't good, I got to celebrate myself, right? Because yard work is not something that I'm running towards doing, but it was so good to just sit and be able to plant the flowers. Now, I'm not done yet. I've got a few more I need to do. And quite frankly, I probably need to replant a couple more. But the fact is that I did it. I did it. So that's how I seized my day today. My big win today was planting flowers. Thank you, Sonia. So come on, guys. How was your day today? Let's go ahead and share as before I get started on our topic, the 3 R's, the 3 R's. So when you see me again looking down, I'm just checking my Facebook page, right? The 3 R's. So let's see, the Facebook user, that's Valerie, or is that Ashley? I'm not sure which one. So but the Facebook user said, I celebrate getting my new MacBook Pro up leveled, my business productivity. Awesome. So Val, is that you? So let us know if that's you or if this is someone else. But all right, so celebrating you. Awesome. Good job. Good job. Who else quickly wants to be celebrated? Right? Who else wants to be celebrated? How did you seize the day today? Quickly type it in chat. Someone says, no, I'm not the Facebook root. Sonia says, I celebrate doing virtual yoga this evening. All right, Sonia, virtual yoga. Very good, very good. So Valerie is the Facebook user that got her MacBook and up leveled her business productivity. Awesome. So guys, Valerie is a graphic designer and she's also a virtual assistant. And Valerie does a lot of my work, a lot of my graphic designs that you see. Valerie does it. So if you ever need her information, just inbox me, reach out to me, and I will gladly give you her information. All right. So there's, she's really good at what she does, and she takes her time to do it. So I highly recommend her. And let's see, and her name of her business is called Help Desk. Help Desk. Okay. So let's see. I celebrate completing another SLT school year. So tell us which Facebook user is this? Tell me, who is this? SLT school year. Exactly what's that? We're going to celebrate it anyway, whatever the SLT school year is. So let's student leadership team. Awesome. Awesome. So Ashley, is this you? Right? Is this you? We've got Ashley from Brooklyn. We've got the Fruitful Wife. Hello, hello. It's Ashley. Yeah. Ashley's in Brooklyn, y'all. Hey, the Fruitful Wife. Hello, 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 hello. So excited. So, guys, let's see. What else? What else? Not sure why it's coming up, FB user. Oh, don't worry about it. As long as, we could identify between the two Facebook users. It's all good. It's all good. So, tonight we're going to talk about, I still want you, as I'm about to shift to our subject, I still want you to identify who you are. Where are you joining us? The Fruitful Wife, where are you joining us from? Right? Let us know, Greta, where are you joining us from? And then, guys, what was your win today? What is it that you want to celebrate? What was great about your day? And you just seized it, because always keep in mind there's always one thing that we can always find in our day. Sometimes I get it. We got to really look, but you can always find that one thing that you can say, this was awesome for me today. So Shondell is coming in from Dover. Hey, Shondell. Let's see. The Fruitful Wife said, I'm so excited about the challenge. Yes, yes. So let's talk about the 3R challenge, guys, that begins today, today, today. And the Fruitful Wife is Chef Brittany from Atlanta. Excellent, Chef Brittany from Atlanta. Juliet from Dover. Yeah. So excited. The 3R challenge, the 3R challenge begins today. Release, relate, repeat. Yes. Thank you for posting it. Release, relate, repeat. That is the 3R challenge, right? I'm going to type it in my, uh, there we go. Yes. The 3R challenge. Release, release, not relate, release. It's release, replace, and repeat. Release, replace, and repeat. Not relate, guys. Release, repeat. And so Greta says she's from Amityville, New York. Right. So release, replace, and repeat. Right. Release, replace, repeat, and not relate. So let's take relate out. And guys, I want everybody to type in chat for me. Release, replace, repeat. That is our 3R challenge. And so it begins today. So tonight I'm coming on Facebook Live, and tonight I'm going to talk about release. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to come on and I'm going to talk about replace. I'm going to come on Wednesday night at 8:30. And then on Friday evening at 8:30, y'all, that's my date night, but I'm going to come on and I'm going to talk about repeat on Friday night. And so it's roughly going to be about 30 minutes. And so I want you to join me in about 30 minutes. And if you have not opted in, if you have not opted in or registered to be a part of the 3R challenge, then you need to go ahead and do that. There's a link that you can opt into, and let's see if somebody's put the link in there. Then you can opt in through the link, and there's also a Facebook group that you also join. So there's two ways: you opt in and you register for the 3R challenge. And then once you register, you also opt into the private Facebook group. And that's where we're going to be seeing a lot of the work that you're doing, as we are all in this challenge together, right? All in the challenge together. So I'm going to put it here. There it is right there. Make sure that you opt in. So release is the first part of the 3R challenge. Release, replace, repeat. And so, in our life or in our journey, there's so many things that we go through, right? And we hold on to them. And many times we don't even realize what we're holding on to. We've got hurt, we have pain, right? We've been hurt by loved ones. We've been hurt maybe by co-workers. We've experienced trauma in our lives. Some may have experienced a spouse that was, unfaithful, or, childhood trauma of some kind. It could have been some type of abuse, but all of us have things in our lives where we struggle to release it. We struggle to release it. And we go through life many times living with it, not even realizing that that it has become a part of us. And now there's some things that we just do because of the experience and the trauma that we have dealt with, that just becomes very habitual to us, right? Very habitual. And so tonight, what I just briefly want to talk to you about is releasing the first R, releasing that pain, releasing that trauma, releasing that person who you may be struggling to forgive, that coworker, that boss, maybe it's a child. No matter what it is in your life that you're holding on to, right? This is the time to release it. And I keep talking about this because as we're now moving forward in 2021, we want absolutely nothing to hold us back from reaching our full potential and walking in peace and joy and happiness, not at a surface level, but at a cellular level, let's say. And so, in order for us to do that, there's some things that we have to release. So, yeah, someone says, I just registered. Awesome, awesome. Uh, let's see. Release, letting go of the pain, the trauma, negative experiences that you're holding on to. Yes, any negative experience that you're holding on to. And there's so many things, right, that we often hold on to that we just need to release, let it go, right? Just let it go. But sometimes we just don't know how to let it go. And so, uh you can pray about it, which you should do. You could talk to God it, because I know many of you are saying, well, I just talk to God about it, I pray about it, and that's great. You should do it. So I'm not going to tell you not to do that. Others may go, you may be seeing a therapist. Great. You should do that. If that's what you need, you should do that. Um, but what I want to say is you've got to be in action in order to release it. In other words, you can pray about it. You could talk to God about it. You could talk to your friends about it. But if you're not doing some things to release it, then it will always remain with you. And sometimes you don't even realize that it is still with you, right? So, I think about myself, because I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking like I don't, I've not gone through anything like that, because I definitely have. And I just remember a time in my life where I was just really hurt by a friend. I was just very hurt. I felt as if, I let them into my life. They were very close to me, and they betrayed me, at the highest level. They betrayed me. And it was years, quite frankly, um, before I was truly able to release it. So, I prayed about it a lot. I would talk to God about it. And I thought that I was doing the things necessary. I thought that I'd release them. And honestly, I thought that I forgave them, until one day I saw them and it hit me in the face. I was so triggered when I saw them that every negative feeling that I got and from that relationship with them, and the things that they did and how they hurt me, and that whole situation, let's say, all came rushing back to me, and it hit me like a freight truck. Boom. And all of a sudden, I felt as if, oh my gosh, I felt hurt again. I felt sad. It threw me into depression. And I realized at that moment, um, that I didn't really release it, that the release that I did was really at a surface level. And because they weren't actively in my life anymore, I just assumed that I was over it. And what I did not realize was that I was not over it at all, not at all. And that was evident when I saw them. And so from that point, I had to begin the process of releasing the pain and the emotions and everything that was connected to that situation that was an obstacle in my life, the obstacle that stopped me from forgiveness, and it stopped me from really being at peace and really experiencing true joy and, yes, happiness. And so that's why the 3R challenge is so important to me, because in this year, I want to challenge you to release the negative things, release the negative thoughts. If you've got weight, you need to release it. Any obstacle that is holding you back, if it is unforgiveness, it needs to be released. You know, if it's hurt and pain from whatever situation happens, it needs to be released. And so one may say, well, then how do I do that? So I'm going to tell you, I'm glad you asked. Come on, guys, talk to me. If there's anything that you want to say, anything that you want to add, I want you to listen, but I want you to communicate with me, because remember, it's never a monologue, it's a dialogue. So come on, let's make some comments and just, tell me, what are you feeling about this? What are your thoughts about this releasing? Is there something that you know that you need to release? And if you know there's something that you need to release and you feel comfortable, go ahead and type it in chat and say, I know I need to release this. Go ahead and type it in chat and share, because trust me, if you're putting it in there, someone else is feeling that, oh yeah, I need to release that as well. So one of the things I want to do, and I'm going to give you, I think, about 3, maybe 4 points on what you could do. I wrote them down because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget as you begin to release. Right? As you begin to release, the first thing that you have to do is that you have to identify what the problem is. And so, can someone type it in chat? Number 1, in order to release, right? Sonia says, letting go has levels, always harder than I think. I need this. Very good, Sonia. Thank you. Thank you. A Facebook user, I believe this is Ashley, says, not letting go is unhealthy, speaking from experience. Yeah, not letting go is very unhealthy. Or it could be Valerie. I'm not sure who it is, but it is very, very unhealthy. So definitely, definitely. And so the first thing, and if someone could type it in chat, the very first thing is to, number 1, let's identify what is it that you need to release. Let's identify it. So that means that you're going to have to sit and you have to begin to think about, what is it that I need to release? For some person, it may be one thing. For some of us, it may be 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter how much it is, but I want you to identify it. When you begin to identify it, I want you to write it down. So, number 1, you're going to identify it and you're going to write it down, right? What is it that you need to release? Identify it and write it down. That's number 1. Identify it and write it down. Exactly. And then number two is once you identify it and you write it down, right? Then number 2 is, what are the triggers? What's triggering you for it, right? What's triggering you? Okay. So number 1, I identify exactly what is it that I need to release, right? The pain that I needed, the hurt that I needed to release from what I had with my friend. And I had to write that down. What was it I was so hurt about? What did they do? What did I need to do? I identified it. I wrote it down. And then number 2 was, I identified what were my triggers. What triggered me? Sometimes there's things that triggers you. It could be a smell that triggers a very negative thought or a negative action that happened to you or a negative reaction, right? And so what are the triggers? What are those triggers? That's number two. Isn't it getting beautiful outside, guys? And then number three is when you identify it and you write it down, and then you determine what are your triggers. Then I don't want you to judge yourself. Don't judge yourself, meaning this: your emotions and your feelings is exactly that. They're neither wrong or bad, right? They are what they are, and it's okay for you to embrace your emotions and your feelings. As a matter of fact, you should, and you should embrace it. So don't judge yourself. That's number three. Don't say, I should know, because I did it. I said, man, I shouldn't have reacted like that. I prayed about this, I did that. I should know better. But the bottom line is, obviously, it was still painful. And it had nothing to do with me knowing better. What it had everything to do with me is that I was still in pain. And it was my responsibility to take the action to get my healing. And the only way that I could get my healing was releasing it, And so that's what I want you to do. So I couldn't judge myself, and I couldn't judge. I didn't, I had to work on not judging how I felt. And then number four is I gave myself permission to let it go. I gave myself permission to let it go. And so, why this is important is that I had to give myself permission to say, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to work on forgiving. And I gave myself permission to say, I don't want them in my life anymore. And I need to make sure I keep them at a distance. And it was okay. So I gave myself permission to release it. Many times we feel as if, I have to hold on to something, and we feel as if we don't have the permission to let some things go, but you do. The permission comes from you, right? So give yourself permission to let it go, to just let it go. And then the art of just letting it go is that every day now, as you are now releasing it, is every day you've written down, this is the trauma I've had. And now this, I've identified it. And now I'm going to begin releasing it out. I'm going to release it out of my body. I'm going to release it because I don't know about you, but when I'm in pain and when I'm hurt, like when I saw you know, my friend, I mean, and I just, everything just hit me. I felt it, not just in my head or my heart, but I felt it throughout my body. And so we have to work on releasing some things just out of our bodies, and so when and how we begin to release that is by identifying it, is that the pain hurts right here. And one of the things I did was that I would lay my hands on my heart, right? And I would begin to speak, I release this pain, and I began to identify it. And I knew what the triggers were. And so when I was able to identify what my triggers were, right, then I was able to even release even more. And then, of course, I said, it's okay if I feel this way. I accept that I'm upset. I accept that I'm angry because I saw them again. I accept all of that. And I just began to release it. And so those are the four things. So you're going to identify it and you're going to write it down, how many ever it is. And then number two is you're going to also identify what triggers this reaction. What triggers it? Is it a smell? And number four, you're going to not be judgmental about yourself. You're not going to say, I should have known better. I shouldn't have reacted to this. Your feelings is your feelings, and it's okay. Your emotions is your emotions, and that's okay. And then you're going to give yourself permission and say, it's okay if I release this now. This is no longer a part of me. This is no longer serving me. I am ready to release this because I am ready to now live authentically as me and be happy and be in peace and be in joy. And so that's how I want to encourage you tonight. If someone could also, once you've registered, then I also want you to also go on the Facebook page and join our private Facebook group for the challenge. right? So I'm going to just post this really quick. If someone could write the Facebook page on there as well, and it'll also be posted in the chat on Facebook. Share it with someone because it's not only you that may need it, but others may need it. So I'm encouraging you to share the information so they can also be a part of the 3R challenge. I'm excited about it because at the end of this challenge, I know there's going to be some things you're going to release, you're going to replace, and then repeat. Right? That's all it is, the 3R challenge. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about now that you've released some things, what are we going to replace it? How are we going to replace it? I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. It's getting dark, so I'm going to go and finish enjoying the rest of my evening. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Facebook user. I'm not sure Ashley or Val said this is great. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed it. I'm make sure that you share it. Invite others. Don't keep good things to yourself. Invite others to be a part of the 3R challenge. Okay, invite others. And here's the Facebook page that you can jump on as well and join us. So two ways: opt in to become a part of the challenge, and then jump on and also join the private Facebook group for the 3R challenge. Release, replace, repeat. Release, replace, repeat. Release, replace, repeat. Tonight, we have just learned it's only a tip of the iceberg on releasing, but it's a tip is where you start. So let's begin to release. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.